Sure. First of all, always appreciate having you guys out here, and I apologize early now for the sniffles. All of a sudden, my allergies are kicking in today. But before I get started, I was told I need to make sure I shout out our concession squad for hooking the media up with a taste of what our fans will have. This opportunity to purchase at our games this year brought the cheesy crab pretzel, the chicken and maple waffles fries, the brisket platter, and a lot more. So I got my NIL deal done. Hopefully you guys enjoy the food in the back. But no, let's shift to what's really important, which is coming off of a really strong camp. We broke camp Saturday with a mock scrimmage where we work on the what-ifs of things happening, the little things, the minuscule details that come into play as you game manage. We're super healthy. We feel like we're pretty healthy coming out of it. Got a lot of young guys, a lot of snaps, and we'll continue to develop them throughout the course of this season. Most importantly, as I said earlier, we came out healthy. When you look at FAU, a completely different team than a year ago, a lot of unknowns for us, as I'm sure they have a lot of unknowns about us. They got a new head coach, Zach Kitley, a 34-year-old guy that's got a background, a Texas Tech background, which, having played against Texas Tech's teams and a byproduct of Sonny Cumbie, he's an air raid guy, so we expect them to be a Texas Tech-like air raid system on offense, and that's his background, his wheelhouse. Had a lot of success early at Houston Baptist, also spent some time as well with I think coming back, Texas Tech, obviously, and then Houston Baptist before he went to Western Kentucky, where he had Bailey Zapke, really good quarterback. So a guy that knows what he's doing on offense. He has a team that has 55 newcomers, transfers, very similar setup to where we are, and a revamped defense that has a few Big Ten people on the roster. I know they're Mike Linebacker, former Minnesota player, Cam Rice, our D tackle. One of his teammates is there at FAU. But as always, when we open up, it's really not going to be about our opponent. It'll be about what we do, and that's what we'll focus on, is we don't have a lot of information as to what they'll do. And so that's, for us, the important piece to make sure we know what we want to do. We talked about the frustration of 2024 season, and because of it, we've had a relentless work ethic throughout our building the last 273 days. That's how long it's been since we finished up in State College. I've seen firsthand the impact these coaches, these new players have had in our program. And much like you guys, I'm excited to see what they do in the shell on Saturday. Our game captains this week will be Alan Haran, we'll have Bryce McPherson, and we'll have Daniel Wingate. As you know, we do game captains here, and those three will be the first to lead us as we open our 2025 season. With that, I'll open it up to questions.
Hey, Mike, Gene Wong, The Washington Post. You mentioned coming out of camp healthy, specifically as that relates to the quarterback's room. We know Malik was a little bit limited at some points in camp, and Justin missed at least one practice we know of. Just how is their status going into the
Both are available to play Saturday. Okay. All three are available to play. Yeah.
And then what is success going to look like for you this year? How would you quantify it coming off 4-8 as opposed to 8-5 with a bowl win and with all new parts going into this season?
Yeah, I'll give you a good coaching axiom. Success is equal to production being greater than or equal to our expectation. And it's our expectation, not yours. And those are things we keep in-house. Our players know what our desires are. Our players know and understand what we have to do. Obviously, the goal is always to compete for Big Ten championships. We've created a foundation that I think will allow us to bounce back better because of the foundation to get back on track with competing to compete for Big Ten championships.
Mike, some might say that sunshine follows thunder. What gives you cause for confidence that this year's team will wash away the stain of 2024 and move forward?
Because I'm not worried about 2024. 2024 has no bearing. We're going to be defined in the present of what we do now. Every year, just like a play on offense, defense, and special teams, it dies. It doesn't come back. Unfortunately, I have to use that as a barometer for our team because it's where we were. But for us, 2024 will have zero bearing on 2025.
And if you could kind of slip into the eye of your mind, if you could defensively, so many new pieces and a new coordinator, even though it's a lot of the same stuff, what micro and macro things will you be looking for this Saturday?
I think the big thing is because of the newness, it's how quickly communication works. And I can tell you, based on the Texas Tech system, the one thing coming out of game one that I know will be a challenge for us is because of hopefully the way they play, if they play the way we expect them to, which is speed, pace, the no huddle, it's going to be really important on the defensive side of the ball with a bunch of new faces and new people, how they communicate, get the calls in, get aligned, and be able to execute the defensive structures that we call. So I would say communication will be the big thing for us in game one. And with the new team, that's the part for us that will work, and I'm sure as each game comes, we'll get better and better.
Hey, Mike. George Gerber,
G,
Washington
what's up,
Times.
G?
Good to see you. Since the beginning of camp to now, a position group or two that you can pinpoint that's made the most advancement or development or even surprised you in how they've come along and progressed now as you're right ahead of week one?
I'd say the quarterback room. I'd say the defensive backfield, whether it's the corners, the two additions at the corner position, Dante Joyner along with Jamar Galasker, and then you throw in a young player like Braden Lee, who's missed a lot of action a year ago with shoulder surgery that kept him out after playing early. I like the way that they've competed. I like the confidence that they're playing with. And then the quarterback room, just the confidence knowing that we can win with any of those three guys. And it's not just coach talk. We feel really good about the place that we're in at the quarterback position. Appreciate it. Thank you. Just kidding.
Coach, what's something that you've learned specifically about the grit that your team has through the scrimmages outside and some of the practices that you've had in the longer days?
It's hard to tell what we learn when we go against each other because we know so much. And that's why when I always talk about this is like Christmas for a coach, is we really won't know what kind of team we have until we face adversity. In actuality, we faced our first bit of adversity yesterday, when we handed out the black jerseys, which consist of our developmental squad. And when that usually happens, you see a lot of long faces because a lot of these players we've recruited were stars wherever they come from. For the first time, they're relegated to maybe not being the star, and having to navigate that sometimes is a challenge. And as I've told you about getting back into that locker room, I really like the way that the young players that, or even the players that maybe aren't in pivotal roles going into this game, understand that everyone has an important role. Whether you're a developmental player that helps us prepare for FAU, or whether you're a young guy that's now has a chance to be a starter or a contributor, that's the first piece of adversity we faced as a team, and I like the way they've responded because the practice we had yesterday and our preparation for FAU was spirited. It had the energy and was not atypical of that Friday where all the bad stuff happens and all of a sudden you get a different color jersey with a different number. I thought they responded the right way.
Yes, Ali of Fairfax Public Access.
What's up, my
yes,
guy?
how you doing? Thank you for your time, Coach, and congrats on the new season.
Thanks.
Does every year when you start off feel different in your eyes?
Yeah, it's like having a child. I had 4 of them, and each one was a little bit different kind of delivery. So, I'm looking forward to this delivery Saturday to get a feel for who we are. This will give us an idea. It gives us the start, but as I said, I think as a young team, you'll see us probably get better each week because as we get familiar with our routine, I think 64% of our team has never played a game for us wearing the Terp uniform, that it'll be important for us to do a great job as we bring them along to make sure that we have the great communication as to where we are and the things we need to do to continue to improve.
For sure. One last thing. In terms of the training camp, the skill guys, who's giving you, your quarterbacks, opportunity to do their best on the practice field?
The O-line, for the quarterbacks, they're the saving grace for most quarterbacks because a strong run game for a young quarterback is really important, or an inexperienced quarterback. Their ability to protect, their ability to take care of them and keep them upright allows them to make the plays down the field to the receivers that we have, and I feel good about that group as a whole because I've seen them from the end of last season till now. With the pieces we've added, I've seen an improvement out of that group as well.
Hey, Locks, back here, up top. Good to see you.
Alex, what's up?
Not too much. About the quarterbacks, about each of them, what specifically have each of them shown in camp that's impressed you? And then in terms of deciding who's going to start, what goes into that process as you decide before game one?
You always have these long questions where I can't even remember them because I'm getting old, but start out with the first one and then.
Okay, yeah, so just the quarterbacks, with each of them, what has impressed you most about each one? Maybe like a real quick thing about each
Justin, athleticism, big arm. I would say Christian, his ability to process information and make he makes bad plays good because he's a big physical guy, and then Malik's maturity and the calmness that he brings kind of has the aura, and they all three. Those are the things that stand out to them as you just kind of say that, and I think all three of those guys have the ability to execute our system, and to me that's more important than any of those characteristics. And I'm looking forward to seeing the guy trot out there and try to get it done.
And when you have three guys like that, what goes into deciding which one is going to start, and what's the process like for you with that?
The guy that gives us the best chance to win, and the guy that gives us the best chance to score points.
Have you decided yet?
I have.
But you'll tell us on.
You'll see when it trots out there with the
Just
first
checking.
play of the game. We've been down this road before.
I'm just checking just in case
you
it
guys
changes.
all know it's not going to happen. The team knows, they know. It's in-house. We're moving forward. You guys will get a chance to see it. And there's no need to give FAU any advantages to who to prepare for or what to prepare for.
Sticking with the quarterbacks, but with the other team, Caden Boltkamp comes over, obviously familiar with Zach Hitley's system. What kind of sticks out about him when you evaluate the film?
You know what? He's accurate. The ball comes out quick, so pass rush may not be as efficient against the guy and the expectation. Now, this is what we think we're going to see because there's not a full body of work. And so, again, for us, when you don't know, we're going to focus on what we need to do, and that's the communication on defense, getting lined up. The ability to maybe take away the quick hitting passes from a coverage standpoint to not allow them to get the ball on the perimeter, and then obviously tackling well. And I feel good about us going into game one tackling because we had a really physical camp, and I like the way our guys were able. If you can full speed thud tackle or full speed thud, tackling is usually a lot easier.
Hey, Coach Locksley.
Heather, what's up?
Hello, Heather McDonough, NBC4, representing for the ladies
Gotcha.
here. You're number 7, right? I mean,
You're 7.
you're lucky number
boy.
Lucky number 7. You've had ups, downs, good, bad. Just when you sit, I know you're thinking about the season, but when you kind of hear that and take time to reflect on being back here and now 7 years leading this program, what are just some of the thoughts that enter your mind?
I still pinch myself. This is still the place when I walked in, Coldfield House, as it was called before we named it the Jones Hill House facility. The excitement, the energy. I mean, I keep telling you, I grew up on this campus. And so for some people, it's a pit stop. For me, I've been here 17 years. All right, 17 seasons. Think about being a coach in this profession. Now, 3 different stints, but 17 years. So knowing where all the dead bodies are, knowing the history, knowing the traditions, I pinch myself every day, and every day I recognize it's a tremendous blessing to, as I like to say, you don't hope your way from Ballou High School to being the head coach of the University of Maryland. So very few things. Like I said, my give a crap gauge, I'll keep it PG-13, is on E. I love this job. I love what I'm doing.
Coach, another year. Great to see you.
Bruce.
We know you're a great quarterback coach. We know you're a great wide receiver coach. All right? Everybody's expectations are high. All right? Running back, too. Defensively, what's the brightest spot on this team? Which segment of the defense are you most excited, and maybe what are you a little bit worried about?
Not worried, because fear and ego come from the same place. That's external, and we don't deal with external. We deal with internal. Really excited about the pass rush. One of the Achilles heels for us is when you have to add people to your pass rush, you expose your back end. And I feel like we've addressed that and recruited some really talented young pass rushers that have length, that have first step quickness, that have power, speed, really talented pass rushers. And so for me, I've got to see them go do it. I've watched it for the last 30 days here in camp. The the iron sharpening iron with our O-line and the other side of it, there's not much to give me angst because I don't deal with fear. As I said, fear is external, and I'm not worried about fear. I mean, like coming from Ballou High School to Maryland, just fear is not part of it. So not a lot of things I'm worried about other than the unknown, which we'll find out Saturday.
Hey, Coach.
What's your name, bro?
My name's John. I'm from
John.
Inside the Black and Gold intern.
Okay, got it. Okay, you got some help here, huh?
So, what would you say is your expectations for the running back room this season? Do you expect them to come out strong out the gate or ease their way into the season?
We don't ease our way into anything. You just can't do it. When you hit the start button of a season, it's ignite. And to elevate, you've got to ignite. And our goal, we got Nolan Ray back healthy. Had some off-season procedures that I think will allow him to maybe finally reach the potential that we thought he has or we see he has. DeJuan Williams coming off the ACL his senior year in high school. As we all know, it takes about a year and a half for that thing to fully heal. So a year ago, you saw a small sample size of it. Then you throw in guys like Eli Mason, who we put on scholarship this past weekend, who's become that utility guy for us. We made some power moves by moving DJ Samuels from the outside linebacker role to our fullback, and he brought an intensity to our offense that we need to have. And Rocket Howard, who is healthy finally, missed some time during camp, but he's healthy. So I feel good that the depth and the skill set in that room is Big Ten caliber. But we got to go out and do it. It won't be easing into it.
Other than beating FAU on Saturday, what else do you want to see to call that game a success, especially from the young guys on the roster?
I mean, anytime you get to play a bunch of players, hopefully, that enables you to develop. But I can tell you that no one in that building is taking FAU for granted. We know their history of one of those programs that always has great skill players, and they play with speed. And you think of the Florida talent that they're able to have in their backyard, they'll have guys. And so the focus is more on what do we need to do to win that game. And you know, moving forward, we'll deal with it once we get there.
Coach Ryan Martin, WMUC Sports.
Ryan, what's up?
Good, how are you?
New face.
Yeah. Second year you come in with the quarterback competition. You go back to these last two preseasons versus when Talia was here and you knew he was there in 2023. Have these two off seasons had any similarities that you maybe didn't have when Talia was your guy going into 23?
Yeah, the camaraderie, that position group all has Talia-ish impact, which means you can tell that this group, there's not one of the three that have competed for the job that when they walk in the huddle that there's not a confidence from the people around them that they can get the job done. So that comfort level is one that I felt, obviously, having a guy like Talia for 3 years and the records he was able to accomplish here. All three of those guys give me that feel. Again, this room is a room that, as I've said before, similar skill sets, same genre, really talented group and really close-knit group as well. Appreciate you guys.